What's going on, guys? Rybommy Teacher in the house, and we are back with the GPL week number 2 Pickems for the Hoenn region. Of course, I don't do Pickems alone. I am joined by my host for this episode and for the rest of the season now, Exo. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. What's going on, GPL community?
Alright, and on the screen right now you can see all the results from last week. Of course, we're not going to go each individual one, but we are going to briefly skim over them. So, with a perfect score on my end, plus an extra winner and 2 correct winners on Exo's end, that meant I took last week 3 points to 2. However, this week we got a little bit of a scuffed one with Pickems being a little bit late, but I will explain how this works. Either side of me on the screen are going to be 2 teams that are playing each other this week, and we break down the strengths and weaknesses on both sides, and then we predict a winner at a scoreline. But this match has actually already happened, as Exo is somewhat well too aware, so we can't actually do this one this week. Fortunately, I was hoping to do a pick and blind, but sadly, one of our friends accidentally spoiled it on my stream, so I can't really do this one. I would have backed Rabbit to win anyway, just for clarity.
Yeah, same.
But in order to save Exo's sanity, we're just going to quickly move over this one and then move on to Pelly versus Ted. What are you thinking, right, Exo?
Ooh, okay. I'm having flashbacks from week 1. Yeah, Pelly is he knows how to play his team very well. Whereas I believe Ted is new, if I'm not mistaken.
Ted is very inexperienced. Yeah, he's someone in my stream.
Yeah, so honestly, if we're going player wise, I think Pelly has this in the bag. But if we're looking at Pokemon, maybe maybe if Scolipede can get like a Swords, maybe not. I don't know. There's not many win cons on Ted's side that could really sweep Pelly's team.
We had a brief sort of look at this before when we were deciding the pick order, and one of the problems that I noticed with Ted's team is how reliant it is on getting set up. With things like a Zoomerel Belly Drum, yes, it can be banded, but it doesn't hit as hard. You know, Scolipede needs a Sword Stance and a Speed Boost to be able to really function. Difficult to do that without Protect, and then SD Protect, you're lacking coverage moves. Things like the Hitmontop, he brought Life Orb last week, should have brought Branded. Things like that. And then things like Virizion and Mimikyu both really need setup to be super good. Virizion can survive without setup and be more bulky utility, but I feel like you'd kind of want to run it more offensive. But I feel like it's just a struggle to see any time where he's going to be allowed to set up. Unless like he gets a good predict and gets a good switch in and puts Pelly on the back foot. I don't see a world where he can set up anything. The Duraludon is pretty strong though. Duraludon actually is okay in this matchup. Definitely can hit pretty hard. I wonder if he takes inspiration from me and G-Max's turn 1. And stuff like that. But then again, Dracozolt can still eat it alive, so that's kind of scary.
Yeah, speaking about Dracozolt, no ground type. I'm getting flashbacks. I can't think about this again. Dracozolt just sort of can be banded even and sort of destroy.
Like the only thing that can even switch in on that is Mimikyu, and it breaks the disguise anyway and still doesn't matter. Like,
yeah.
So it's difficult for me. I don't see a world where Ted wins this game. I think he'll pick up a couple of kills. I think he might get some kills off of Pelly, but I don't think he's going to get many. I'm going to back Pelly to 5-0.
That is fair. I'm going to go with Pelly, and I'm going to say... I'm actually going to say Pelly's going to get the first 6-0.
I like it. He's going to be happy if he does as well, because it puts him at rank 1, which he complained about last week. Alright. Next up on the docket then is going to be Solo versus Galaxy. 2 people we both know pretty well at this point. Oh man, so I think you should take the lead on this one, because you actually have a bit of insight here.
Okay. So Galaxy asked me to scrim with him pretty early on during the week, because he built this right after his game for week 1, because he was very excited because he found a few win cons that I didn't see, and I scrimmed with him I would say 4 times, and he won every single time. I I don't know if I just can't run hyper offense or if Galaxy really has this in the bag. But yeah, I think Galaxy can play around solo pretty well.
Yeah, I think one thing that we did, and we did briefly mention it, of course, before we started, is that Solo is probably really the only hyper offense player really that we have in this league. So it's very, very difficult to get a measure on him because obviously he's the only one that plays it extremely well. Like, Solo plays way differently to anybody else, and that's the problem. So it's like, no matter who scrims with his team, like, no one's going to play it like Solo does. So it could be a very scary moment. Obviously, we've pointed to Galaxy's team building as to be decent. We didn't see it last week all that well, but I can trust Exo's judgment in the fact that he's obviously got something in his locker. But his battle mechanics were very questionable last week. Whereas Solo was very much on point in true Solo fashion. I think I want to trust Galaxy's decision making to improve. Because I always like seeing improvement in the league. I don't like harping on the newbies. But I feel like Solo might be a little bit too much for him at this stage. So I am going to back Solo to win, but I don't think it's going to be a landslide. I think it's going to be a 2-0.
Okay. One thing to note here is that the actual team is changed. I believe he has Dustclops instead of Carkol and Cinderace instead of Chandelure now.
I'll have a look. I did not see that change on the rosters. I am just going to have a look to see that was updated, because if it is, that's an error on my end, but I didn't see it on the dock when I was having a look. It might be in for next week. Let's see. It is effective for this week, but I've only just seen that on the dock. So I'll have to quickly see if I can live edit that. But either way, yeah, I think the change is interesting, but I don't think it's enough.
Okay. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna say Galaxy is going to be able to clutch this one out. I'm gonna go with 2-0 on Galaxy side.
Alright, nice. And hopefully that changes. There we go. I snuck it in. We got there in the end. I don't know why I didn't save that one, but that's fine either way. You said Galaxy for what, 2-0?
2-0, yes.
Gotcha. Alright. Next up on the list is going to be Skinny Biscuits, coach of the Junkie Chickaritas, versus Trancel of the Hectic-Eye Dragons. So Skinny, of course, the benefactor of a forfeit win last week, and Trancel forgot that Lycanroc has Sucker Punch. So this is kind of where I have the inside on this, because I actually helped Trancel with his team. I know Trancel's team. I'm not going to spoil anything, of course, but I feel like Trancel has prepped for everything on this team. I don't see an easy way for Skinny to win this game. Obviously, Volcarona at +1 can be a problem, but with the Colossal now, Volcarona does not have an easy way to set up, because Colossal can just come in, get a Steam Engine boost, and just wreck house. That's going to be a scary factor to deal with. It does get a surprising amount of coverage moves to hit most of this team. That can be an issue. There's kind of an interest in Escavalier. I think Escavalier can do quite a lot here. Especially now with P2 instead of Jellicent. I don't feel like P2 offers any value this match. I don't think Trick Room is viable. I feel like I'm struggling to find a way for Skinny to win this game. Because I feel like he gets outsped by Dragapult and nothing really can kill it that easily. I mean, he does have Sucker Punch on Toxicroak, but I know I joked with Trancel about this, and Trancel is aware that Toxicroak gets Sucker Punch. Ooh. I would like to see Skinny pull something out of the hat. We have seen some interesting stuff from him already with the Utility Umbrella Volcarona from last week, but it wasn't really that impactful. But I don't feel like Trancel's going to lose this. I think Trancel's got too much prep. Let's see. I think Trancel 5-0s this match. That's what I'm going for. Go for big scores today.
Alright, I like it. I do agree with you that Colossal sort of sort of just has too much for Skinny's team. I think Starmie can do a decent amount, can hit the Tentacruel, Colossal, Mandibuzz with the Meteor Beam. Okay. I think Skinny has potential in this game. I think Trancel is gonna take that loss to heart, and he's gonna like run with now getting a win streak for the rest of the season. I think he's gonna win. I think Trancel's gonna win, and I'll say 4-0.
Alrighty then. Which leads us to the last match of the region, which is going to be a very tough one. This match has actually happened, but neither Exo and I have actually watched this match, so we don't know the result. But it's going to be Tyler, of course, of the Sleeping Snorlaxes versus Poker of the Baltimore Oricorios. Of course, Poker did unfortunately take a forfeit loss, however played extremely well last week. So that is pretty scary with that rain team. And then Tyler actually had a pretty impressive win last week against Galaxy. So something that I'm interested in is, I know Tyler watches a lot of the other battles. I'm really interested to see how he plays this Arcanine. Arcanine with Utility Umbrella could be kind of funny. It does get wild charged to hit things like the Dreadnought. But it could run into trouble with Seismitoad, I guess. It doesn't really get much to hit Seismitoad in general. I do like the changes that Tyler's brought in now. I think Shuckle's a very good fit for this team. Much needed bulk, good web setter, which could be a problem for Poker. But then when I look at Poker's team, I see Rain plus Zeraora, and I'm kind of scared. That's kind of one of the biggest problems. I think Seismitoad's a nice pickup. Definitely gives him an extra rocker, which takes the pressure off of Dreadnought. I don't know how good Seismitoad is in this matchup, though. That's kind of an interesting one. I think it does come. There are some things that I would like to see Poker bring, but I don't know if they can come. Like, I'd love to see Avalugg. I don't think it comes, though. It's a good physical bulk, though. It can be an okay response to things like the Sneasel. This match is tight. I think one of the interesting things about this is the G-Maxes can both be good against each other. I believe Dreadnought gets Earthquake, so it can hit super effectively, but the Gengar is also faster out of rain and gets things like Thunderbolt. I think it's going to be down to who plays their G-Max better. And also like what kind of sets they can bring against each other. I'm not sure. Not sure who I predict to win.
Well, one thing I'd like to note is Tangela, if Zeraora is physical, Tangela just sort of takes it on very well, because what does Zeraora usually have that's physical? Fire Punch, but in
Blaze
the rain, that's not going to be doing anything. Blaze Kick as well, yeah. So Tangela is going to be a really good wall versus Zeraora. I would hope that it comes. And yeah, I think Tangela is great in this matchup. It does beat Dreadnought pretty well. Does beat Seismitoad. I think Tangela is actually really good in this matchup.
That's actually kind of scary. I don't think it ever got anything to hit Sizzle with, though. That's the one downside. I think Sizzle can sit in on it, but I would not want to see a Sizzle setup on a Tangela, personally. I think even Sizzle can be scary. Like, Darmanitan pre-Zen mode is not taking +2 bullet punches very well. Even things like Shockball doesn't want to take a bullet punch. Sneasel doesn't want to take it. Togekiss doesn't want to take it. There's a lot of things that Sizzle can do if Tangela does come. But I think Tangela is actually kind of makes this a little bit harder to predict. I think on basis that I feel like Poker's execution is very strong. I feel like he'd be able to use his rain turns really, really effectively. He did do it very well in week 1. And I worry that if Tyler falls behind, because we didn't see him fall behind last week, I don't know how good his comeback mechanics are. Because that was one of our concerns we had from last season. Every time he fell behind, he just collapsed. I'm going to go Poker. I think he's going to execute slightly better. But I think this is close. I'm going to give Poker a 1-0.
Okay.
Purely because of Tangle.
Yeah, I think Tangle is really good. Yo, but you know what takes a Scizor at +2. Grapploct. Okay, Grapploct actually can also, if it's at +2, it can use that one fighting move, that 60 base power fighting move that makes him switch out. That's pretty good.
Circle through?
Yeah, it has that. See, that's good tech. Grapploct, pretty good mon. OP. No, but honestly, I agree with you. I think Poker, he's shown that he definitely knows how to play. And knows how to play Rain very well. Oh man. Okay. Can I say 1-0 as well? Because I don't know. Because like I'm thinking about it, and there is a really good thing that Tyler has in that Tangela just sort of, it makes it hard to sweep with Dreadnought. Yeah, I'm gonna go with 1-0 as well. I think it's gonna be extremely close. If it's a 1-0
so
Tyler,
yeah. I think it's 1-0 either way. I don't think it gets any more than that. But either way, that's going to be it from all of us. That's going to be our Pickems. Let us know how wrong you think you are, of course, in the predictions in the Discord. Definitely going to be interesting to see those. I haven't actually seen those yet. But either way, guys, thank you so much for watching. My name is Rybomb Teacher. That's Exostomp.
See ya.
And we'll catch you guys next time. Stay safe. Stay awesome. We'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.